Welcome to I'm Too Busy, an interview-based show hosted by a talented makeup artist, Christina Flack. Christina offers viewers a unique blend of personal stories, inspiring journeys, and practical beauty tips. Join the conversation as Christina features successful individuals from various industries who share their insights on health, wellness, makeup, and the keys to their success. So now, please welcome the host of I'm Too Busy, Christina Flack.
Hello, I'm Christina Flack, and welcome to I'm Too Busy TV. Today, we're featuring an extraordinary woman who transformed personal challenges into a platform of empowerment. Nurse Candy's journey from teen mom to CEO exemplifies how determination and vision can create lasting change in healthcare, education, and community development. I would like you to introduce you to my chosen sister, Nurse Candy.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Christina, for having me here. It's such an honor. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh my God. I am so happy that you're here. I'm so excited. So we met, full transparency, we met on a photo shoot and literally fell in love and decided that we had to be sisters. That we were just like, we had so much in common and we laughed. It was just so much fun. So
Yes.
you are so extraordinary with all the things that you've done. Let's just dive in and start. So where do you want to begin? With like when you were a teenage mom, like how did
Yes,
let's
absolutely.
start?
Absolutely. So, odds being stacked against me, just being a teen mom, pregnant at 15, having my son at 16, and just really being able to, struggling, going through the struggles, going through the obstacles, and just overcoming all of the catastrophes and statistics that came my way. Being a teen dating violence survivor, starting life early, just finding that determination and that motivation to kind of empower me to go and to be where I am today and help others along it's just been such an amazing, amazing, amazing journey.
So were you always a good student?
No, fun fact. I was not. I always was this student who I just wanted to just barely pass. Who would have, fast forward in my life, who would ever thought I would be a nursing professor, professing out of nursing college, so we just never know what our future is. And if I would have gave up on myself, if people who did not believe in me would have gave up on me, then I wouldn't be where I am today. So I was not a good student. I was just a passing student. I wasn't the smartest in my class, but I had something different amongst everyone else, and that was that hunger, that drive, and that determination. And no matter what came my way, when it got hard, I never gave up. I persevered, and I kept going, even when I was, face down, literally in the dirt, to find out that that was just soil, enrichment, growth, to just put on me so I can strive through. It's just been an amazing, amazing journey.
What was that like having a young child and then doing homework and going to school? Like, did you have your family support or like, how did you do that? I mean, it's
It takes
hard
a
enough going
village.
to college. It's hard enough finishing school and then to think that have this, baby and it's just I'm so proud of you and I'm just so inspired by your story. So why don't you just tell me a little bit like, did you wake up one day and just said, okay, that's it. My ass is going back to school and I'm going to get this like done.
Absolutely. So it takes a village. It takes a village, Christina. It's no way in life you can go through things and go through the catastrophes alone. You need a village. And my mom has been my backbone. She's been my vertebrae to keep pushing me through. She believed in me. She had tough love. And she was like, you're gonna be someone. And I was determined not to be anyone. I didn't want to be anyone. I just didn't. I had low self-esteem. I struggled. I've been through the storm and I just wanted to just skate past, but she pushed me and she was like, you're going to be someone, so I had to change my surroundings. I had this kid, this baby, and I wanted to make sure that I was able to provide something for him, to give him an opportunity. So I put my butt in nursing school. It saved my life. I have friends who did not make it to this day, are not here, for just, taking a different path. So nursing school, it saved me. It saved my life. It kept me grounded, and it kept me going to be able to give back to others, even when I couldn't give to myself. So you can't do this thing alone. It's not like a one person show. And really it's just been the grace of God just really holding me and keeping me through even when I couldn't hold and keep myself to keep going.
How did nursing school come about? What made you decide nursing instead of going to, becoming a lawyer or something? What was it
Right.
that
Yeah.
attracted
So
you to
it's
being a
it's
nurse?
yeah, so healthcare runs in my family. My mom was a nursing assistant. My grandmother was a nurse. At the end days of my grandmother, she had Alzheimer's, a little bit of Alzheimer's. She had esophageal cancer in her throat. And my mom took care of her, and my aunt took care of her. She was a very strong woman. And just by me observing and being there and seeing that process, I was like, I felt helpless. I didn't know what to do. So I was like, okay, I can't help my grandmother, but I can help someone else's grandmother. I want to learn the steps. I want to be able to give to my community. I want to be able to be a part of my family. I want to be able, by me being an empath, I want to be able to not just sit back and watch, and not know what to do. So getting those skills, going to school, being a nursing assistant, moving forward and getting my nursing license, I didn't really know it was really setting me up for success to be able to care for my father at the time of need when he needed care at the bedside and he needed someone to take care of him. I was already equipped and ahead of the game. So being at that bedside, mastering that bedside from a caregiver, a daughter, and also from a nurse, that's what kept that drive going.
How do you think your experience as a teen mom shaped your approach to leadership?
My experience as a teen mom, it gave me street smarts. It gave me street smarts. It gave me survival skills, survival mode, to know how to get the job done, to know what I needed to do, and just know that no one was coming for me. No one was coming. You can have a sad story, you can have, oh, poor me, but no one's coming. So I had to learn to show up for myself and get the job done. But I had to first stop making excuses. I used to blame everyone. So, like my mom always told me, when you point one finger at a person, how many fingers are pointing back at yourself, right? Like I always was playing the game. You didn't do this, you didn't have this, you didn't do this for me. And it's like, okay, let's take accountability, right? And as leaders, we have to take accountability, and we have to not just walk the walk and not just talk the talk, but lead. So I'm able to be a leader and to show everyone who's behind me that, listen, with the odds stacked against me, I did it. There is no excuse but an excuse. Cut the excuses. Let's get this done. Let's show up for ourselves. So if that's self-love, self-worth, knowing our value and learning and understanding that, then we are able to have that resilience and we're able to push through any storm that comes. So it takes street smarts, not just common sense, because what's common is not so common.
That's true. Did it surprise you when you did it surprise you when you were in nursing school that like once you decided to be like good at school, how good you were at school? Did that surprise you?
It did. It did. I did, because it was hard. Everyone asked me,
Yeah.
everyone's like, Nurse Candy, is nursing school hard? And I'm like, is this a trick question? Am I being pranked right now? Like,
Yeah.
if it
Am I
ask
being
any
punked?
successful person, am I being punked? Like it ask any successful person about success and ask them if it's hard, right? Like behind every successful person is a bunch of failures. Is a
Oh,
bunch of
that's
failures.
yes, that is so true. It's like, oh,
you
they're like
know,
talking about an overnight success. You're like, I've been doing this for 20 years. It's not overnight. I worked my ass
right?
off to get here, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I was shocked. My whole graduation, I had like this vein. I don't know. I only saw like two times in my life. I had this vein that popped here. I cried my whole ceremony because I don't know how many other people who would start something and be a connoisseur of never finishing it. For me to be an executor and a visionary today, I was not an executor. I was not a visionary. Like I would start stuff and not finish it. So graduating and really getting it done, was a story, was proof that, wow, I really could do it. Like I can be anyone that I want to be. And anyone in this world, you can, as long as you have a vision, but you have
And
to keep your mind
clarity,
clear. Boom,
clear,
boom.
right?
Look at the sister alignment,
I
right?
know
We're like, we're
exactly.
like, we're right on, because it's clarity You have to have it. And that really goes into the mental health component, right? You have to take care of your mental health. You have to take care of yourself. And if your
Self-care is
mind
so
is
important.
clouded, that's self-care. That's self-care, right? But how it's easy to say, but how are you going to have the self-care, which is self-love, if you've been told all these different lies and you're struggling with your self-esteem and your confident, right? Your confidence, right? So yeah, I was shocked. I amazed myself. And even till this day, I'm just amazed. And it's just all glory to God. Like I'm not that I'm not that amazing. You know,
Yes,
that's
you
just
are. What are you talking about?
that's all him. That's
Great.
all him. I can't even
Girl,
take
you are amazing. Did you do you have a specialty of nursing that you were in, or is there one that you particularly were more attracted to?
absolutely, absolutely. Mental health. I'm a mental health nurse. So my background is mental health. So that's my love. That's my joy. That's my walk. That's my talk. Before I teach any of my students, we get in the class and I'm like, look, we're going to get to the book. Okay. Everybody tell you about Nurse Candy. We're going to get to the book, but we're going to check on this mental health because we cannot be pouring from empty cups. Like if you have nothing to give, what are you going to give your patients? And it starts with yourself. So when our nurses are burning out and there's shortages and all those different things is the component of the mental health part. So mental health has been in my background. I've done hospice nursing, I've done worked in hospitals, I've done management, program director, but mental health and crisis, that's my specialty.
What do you think is the biggest thing that people like with self-care? They don't get enough sleep, they're not exercising, they're not eating well. What is it that you really, what's the consistent theme that you see that people are having a hard time with their mental health?
The most thing that I see a lot of people are, of course, we go to a lack of sleep, right? A lot of people have the lack of sleep. A lot of people don't really sleep at night because their mind is racing. So they lay your head
Hmm.
on the pillow and you're thinking you're going at 100 miles per hour of all these different things. So you're spinning because you don't have any clear direction. And a lot of times we have a lot of distractions in our life. We have a lot of procrastinations. We have a lot of uncertainties, a lot of confusion, and we don't have a lot of support from other people. So it causes us to go in this downhill spiral. And it really comes down to really is just a lot of it is just trauma. A lot of times we go back to our childhood, we just haven't cleared up the mess because
Hmm.
it could just be of what we have been taught or especially when you're surviving it's like just go to school, get the job done, just focus, just get all this stuff done. But it's like, yeah, but depending on where you're from and how you were raised, what if you weren't raised properly? What if your parents only raised you the way their parents raised them? That's that generational cycle. And that's what it comes with
Hmm.
emotional intelligence, not artificial intelligence, but emotional intelligence is treating people the way that other people need to be treated, not the way we want to treat them. Because what if we weren't raised? We don't know, right? So a lot of people just spiral because it's just a lack of awareness and a lack of emotional guidance,
Hmm.
and a lot of self sabotage. A lot of times, people just don't feel they are worthy of success, worthy of good relationships, worthy of having good people around and in their life. A lot of times that's really what it stems from.
That's so interesting. I'm Christina Flack. We are chatting with Nurse Candy, and we are going to take a commercial break. So, what guidance do you give people about, healthy mental habits? I mean, do you try and give them new habits, or what is it? What's the process?
So the process of habits, so you have good habits and you have bad habits, right? So good versus the bad. So the most important thing is learning and knowing what fills you up. So I always
Hmm.
recommend this exercise of looking to see what brings you joy, what brings you happiness, what gives you peace. What are some things that you would like to do more of, right? What is self care for you? What's your emotional care? Write all those things on a piece of paper, and it's your 8 dimensions of wellness. And you can, 8 dimensions of wellness is your intellectual, your spiritual, your environment, your relationships, the healthy things, right? So know how to, what fills you up, what gives you that fire, that desire, that passion to keep going. And then on the other side of the paper, what doesn't? What drains you? What takes away from you? The opposite of good and healthy is the opposite is bad and toxicity, right?
Mhm.
When you're around certain people, start to be intentional about how it makes you feel. Is this person giving you strength, light, joy, or is this person bringing you a dark cloud and it's just making you feel anxious and making you feel unhappy and just drained, right? So the main thing is knowing what the good habits entail and what the bad habits entail, and what happens when you do both, right? And usually as humans, we really focus on how we learn by our what hurts us. That's how we learn.
Mhm.
Not we don't learn by happiness. Happiness is not
Right.
a human nature, like, oh, I'm happy I learned this lesson, right? We learn what to never ever do again, and never again will I ever put myself in this situation or ever allow this again. So we learn that. So once we know, and if I can sum it up, really, in a nutshell, the number one thing is boundaries. Learn those boundaries, especially with the people you love. And it's hard. Learn to say no. Like if things don't make you feel good or if it just doesn't align with you, right? Because the opposite of boundaries is being a people pleaser. You let people
Right.
walk all over you, right? You let people do whatever they want to do to you, and then they take, right? So you test those out. If that person is for you in whatever capacity it is, and you set a boundary, they're going to respect that. They may not like it, and it's not about likes, especially in this day and age. We care about validation and did I do a good job? And Maslow hierarchy of needs is that validation. We want to feel belonged. We want to feel loved, right? But if we're putting ourselves in the hands of the wrong people that are setting us to a distray, then those aren't the right people for us anyway. And it's okay to let those people go. So that's when it comes to loving yourself more, loving yourself first before trying to seek love and validation from others.
What inspired you to create your 7-step method for nursing success?
Not having the 7 steps, not having mentorship, not having guidance on what it is to become a nurse, to become a healthcare professional. So when I got laid off of my job, I was a rewind. I was a program director for a 12-bed residential facility for mental health. And I worked there for maybe like 3 years, and I got laid off. They were like, Candy, do you have any questions? We have to make some cuts. And they're always going to lay people off in the corporate world that's at the top because it's cheaper to have somebody else. And if you're paying the big bucks, then we got to let you go.
Right.
So they said, do you have any questions? And I said, absolutely not. I gave them their 2 cell phones, the laptop, iPad, their keys. And at that time in my life, I was going through a divorce. I had lost my father that I took care of at the bedside. 7 months later, I lost my sister. And,
Mm.
it was just like turmoil back to back to back. So I was at the lowest in my life. And so when doors feel like a rejection, sometimes it's repositioning us for something that's even greater. So in my darkest moments, that's where my lightest moments came, because that's when I gave birth to Empowered Health Academy. That's when I gave birth to something that, what can I do in this world for service to help others? What can I provide for them? Something that I didn't have. So coming up with the 7 steps, my 7 step method for success and to become a nurse, was a no-brainer. It was easy, and I
You
started
already had these
I already
experiences.
had it. I already had the experience. I already had those woes. And going back to having a baby at 16, being a domestic violence survivor already by the time of 17, it happens. People just don't talk about it. They're like, what is that? It happens. And we dismiss it because statistics, we just don't talk about it. We just had a bad relationship with the boyfriend in high school that maybe was a little bit older, and he said mean things to me, and we did mean stuff to me. And I just kind of shove it underneath the rug and just move on in the world, but then it'll start coming back up. So all of my woes, all of my wounds, I show so others can heal. So it was easy to just birth something that I know others needed. I
So
know
what
the
are
young.
the
So the 7 steps. So the first one is for the 7 steps is an empower method. So you have to first research. You have to first research on becoming a nurse. Learn what type of nursing it is. What kind of nurse do you want to be?
there's so many different nursing things. I
It's so
mean,
many.
there's
It's yeah. It's so many. You can be a licensed vocational nurse. You can be a registered nurse. Do you want to work in ER? Do you want to work in intensive care unit? You want to work in mental health? You just don't know. So I guide them to 7 steps to be able to, number one, first do the research, learn about nursing school, what it entails, and then the admission process. We teach you how to go through those steps, right, and guide you through the admission process while you're also taking care of your mental health and your emotional health. That's going to set you up for success. That's the missing piece, right? No one talks about the mental health component or the emotional. And then when you get in nursing school, you're already burnt out by the time you graduate. You're
right.
already fried. So in those 7 steps, we in our book Nursing Aspirations, we go through the 7 step method of being able to help guide you in emotion, and we created a pathway, a course, 12-week course to help guide you and be led by your instructor, Nurse Candy, to guide you through the process. And
And so how
at the end of it, oh, go ahead.
no, 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 go on. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yes. And at the end of your 7 steps, you've already learned what nurse you want to be, have an idea, a clear vision. You've already know the steps on what to seek within a nursing school, how to do those researches. You've already learned your resources. You already have your tools, and you're set with a mentor to guide you every step of the way when you are in that nursing program. So you're not starting that nursing program by yourself. You already have tutors. We have amazing tutors in New York that help guide you there. You have amazing mentors that will help you to be successful through the program. And we've had a lot of success through it. So it's amazing to see that.
That is so exciting.
Yeah.
How did the 2023 corporate layoff become a catalyst for founding EHA?
It was through the storm. When you're working for corporate, right? You are giving so many underlying hours to the job to the job. And by the time you
Hmm.
get home, you've done those 8 hours. Or if you're working salary, I'm working salary at that time because I'm the boss, I'm the big boss, right? I had 23 employees under me. You're working salary, and then you're working more hours than what you're getting compensated for, and then you don't really have, fun fact, you can be the boss all day for your company. If you're not the CEO, you're not running anything. You still have to run things past your boss, right? So you
Right.
have no pool. There's so many politics behind the scenes in the corporate. So when I got laid off, that just repositioned me for redirected me through what I know I needed to do. And it was hard because it's rejection. No one wants to be terminated. No one wants to be dismissed, especially when you're on a high pedestal. And then one day people can just discard you, like last night's Sunday's trash, and then say, oh, your services are no longer needed. Do you have any questions? What? Absolutely not. But I thank you for shutting those doors, because you can guarantee with the hunger and the drive, I'm going to come back and I'm going to buy the entire building, baby. So you did me a
I love
favor.
that.
You
Yeah,
did me a
I love that.
favor.
Yes, because sometimes we think things are happening to us. That actually happened for you. It was the biggest blessing. And it's so great that you have enough confidence in yourself to know, like, oh hell no. I know I'm really great at what I do. I work really hard. They can't afford me. I'm going to go find something bigger and better. And you just watch.
That's right. You don't believe me? You don't believe me? Just watch. And I tell you, Christina, it has been amazing. Once we started Empowered Health Academy, we built our team. We have our on-site location. So now we're offer classes on-site, also through virtual. And then it kept continuing to grow and to grow. And now I have my own a publishing company that I just launched just 2 weeks ago, and our first author that's on Amazon now, and a whole trail of other people. So I always share, if someone is trying to figure out where they belong and these doors are shutting in their face and they just don't know what they need to do, stop looking inward and just look up and just surrender to whatever it is. Get discipline. It's okay, right? Be willing to let some stuff go. We can't keep piling the stuff up on our plate, and isolate yourself. It's okay to take breaks. It's okay to just really rest. There's power in resting, and stop trying to get back to the old you, because baby, the old you is gone. You're going to be a better you, a even bigger you that you don't even know. You haven't even met her. This woman that I am today, I haven't even met her. I'm shocked every day. Like, girl, like you really, like, 2 years ago, I'm stuck in my bed looking at the ceiling, stuck, like on autopilot, not even shower myself, not even fix food or prepare myself. But I went through therapy, I went through grief counseling, I did the self work, and I did the work. I did something that a lot of people are not willing to do. And now people get to see, when they see me, they see that light. And that's the work when you start to heal. That's what healing looks like.
Don't you think also, like now, like inevitably there's going to be more bumps in our road, but now you're so strong and prepared. So, like, if some bump happens, it's okay. You know what to do now. And that's what the beauty and the strength that you have, that I admire so much, because sometimes, we think, oh, finally, I'm in this great place. Nothing is certain and it can change in a second. So, the only thing that you can control is how you are going to handle these situations. And doesn't it feel good to have that confidence knowing, like, okay, something's going to happen and I don't care. I'm going
I've
to be
searched all
fine.
my life. Yes, I searched all my life for that. And I say it took 40 years, 40 years to get in that sweet spot, Christina. 40 years to get there, right? And to know that with every success, there's going to be obstacles. And the difference between a successful person and a person who has a poor mindset is, the successful person is, once those obstacles come in their direction on their path, they're automatically going to trying to see, how can I overcome this? How can I get over those obstacles? Versus another person who's opposite, that's just like making excuses. Oh, it's too hard. That's the old me. It's too hard. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to face that, right? So it's really going with the mind shift. And that's beautiful, because it all starts in our mind. Once we believe it, once we see it, we can also achieve it. So whatever comes my way, and I'm very transparent, it's every level of success that you have, there's always going to be, things that are going to come towards your way. That it's stronger. They're going to come bigger. The more success, the more money, more problems, right? The more success you have, the more temptations you're going to have, the more distractions that are going to come your way, the more people that are going to start popping up that don't really have good intentions for you. You're going to start seeing all these old people reach out. Everyone wants a piece of you, right? For whatever it is. But you have to stay focused and use those tools that you know that you have. And just know that, hey, I've been kicked out of better places than this. I've overcome through bigger storms than this. I know that there's no stopping me. There's no stopping. So I am just excited for what's to come.
What I love that. Tell me about your preventative burnout model and its impact.
I work backwards. I work backwards. So all the things that can go wrong, they can go wrong. So the preventative burnout model is just working backwards and taking care of yourself, right? Taking care of yourself first before you can take care of others. A lot of people are trying to take care of others before taking care of themselves, and it doesn't work. So give to yourself. Taking care of yourself is going to be a setup for success for you.
What gaps in the nursing education does Empowerment Health Academy address?
The gaps are the the emotional health, the emotional intelligence, and also that intellectual, that mental health component. So that's what we focus on. That's our model, working backwards, right? So if we can catch you before you have that mental break, then that is going to cause more staff to be on the floor, more staff to be in the hospital, quality care with your patients instead of just quality over quantity. And that comes from having a nurse that has good, healthy coping habits, who knows how to deal with what's to come versus, having unhealthy habits, because we all know what that road leads us down to.
Right. And how do you measure success in your nursing students?
Ooh, I measure success with just seeing them provide that quality care for their patients. And what that means is giving them what they want, listening to them, seeing what their needs are, practicing that emotional intelligence, because you're taking care of people from different cultures, different backgrounds, right? Different values, different, just different values together, different morals. So learning about your patients, giving that quality care and seeing how you can meet them where they're at and giving them what they need, not versus what you think you need, right? What's going to fill you, what's going to fill your patients. So that's the quality care, and that's what I love to see with our
I
with our
love that.
students.
We're going to take another commercial break. I'm Christina Flack, and I'm too busy. We'll be right back. We are chatting with Nurse Candy today, my favorite human. I love her. How do you how does breaking generational curses mean to you? What does it mean?
Everything. Coming from a background where the odds were against the family, a lot of times our parents, it goes to our household, our parents cannot give us something that they were not equipped to have, right? So breaking a general curse, becoming a nurse, becoming a successful business owner, becoming an entrepreneur in my family is already breaking those generational curses. Breaking generational curses and creating generational wealth is a legacy that I'm leaving behind and causing. So one of the things that's really important, like I say, I have a fun fact, a grandson. And I say that, yeah, I do have a grandson. And
I know. She's
one of
like the hottest
yeah,
grandma in the whole world.
I love it. I love it. And the thing is being able to be a part of raising my grandson from the healed version of me. And that's a generational thing, because a lot of us hurt people, right? So learning to be healed, different layers and pillars, and setting that tone for my family, breaking down those barriers and letting them see that we don't have to keep doing what we've been doing, right? Whatever it is that didn't work for us, we can shift that. We can shift those things. And I've showed that by actions, and breaking those barriers down. It's been amazing. So it just takes one person.
Right. And what role does mentorship play in your organization?
Huge, huge. So the mentorship component, and a good thing with Empowered Health Academy, is that our students don't have to walk this path alone. We pair our students up with nurses that are like-minded, that can connect with them. We're very strategic. I have a student, a mentee now, and then specifically, we're we're mirrored. Everything that she's is just a younger version of me. So giving her, and she gets ready to start nursing school. She just went orientation yesterday, and we have a
Oh my
coaching call.
gosh.
Yeah, she got accepted into the program, and she wants to be a nursing instructor also. So knowing that she has someone to lead and to guide her on this path, you don't have to do it alone, is something that we strive for. So mentorship is very big on us, and, to be able to help vision past that bedside. So it's a huge component in Power Health Academy and what we bring.
How does your nonprofit support Title One youth?
So we are able to go into the schools, and we're able to serve our underserved communities. So we go workshops. I have a speaking engagement on a Monday, going into the high school and giving them that emotional intelligence, teaching them how to thrive, and really seeing where those students are, and giving them a voice to be heard, seeing what they need, and really giving them that awareness in the healthcare industry of where they can go, and all the tools and all the resources, and guide them through the way. So we make it our honor to be able to step down and go into our communities of where other people are not willing to go, right? They're not willing
Mhm.
to do, because I only had one person come into my high school. I graduated from continuation school. I only had one person come and give us an idea about a career. One.
What was the career? Do you remember?
It was a crime scene investigator, CSI.
Oh,
Crime
wow.
scene investigator. Yeah. Forensic science.
And did that
And
interest you at all, or what
it
were your
did. It
thoughts?
did. I always thought I wanted to go into forensic science. It did. It just it really captured me, and it made an impact. And I never forgave that. I never forgot that. So I always wanted to come back into the schools to be able to continue to do that. And when I graduated from high school, I was a fifth year senior. When I graduated from high school, I came back into the high school because I said, you know what, once I make it, I'm never going to forget where I come from. And still to this day, we go into the schools and give back to our students. So that's how our organization, our nonprofit Empower Health Network had got born.
Wow. How do you balance running multiple organizations?
Yeah, it's a balance. It's a balance. So I have a great partner, I have a great business partner, I have a great team. I've learned to be a very good delegator. That's hard to do, especially with, when we're, I never to be type A personality, it's like I want to do everything on my own and I want to do it, but you have to learn that you have to let go and you have to believe in your team and you have to allow your team, pull them up as leaders because we're all leaders, right? And know that we can't do everything by ourselves, nor should we want to, right? So creating systems it was a challenge. I had to create systems and invest in the right systems to where you can have your businesses on autopilot to where it can kind of just the machine can go without
Right.
you having to run it. That's the challenging part in business, and just figuring out the right systems and the right principles and how it goes. But the biggest thing is in leadership, believing in your team and allowing them, working with people, hiring people that to do the things that you're not good at, right? Like we're not, I'm a nurse, I'm a nurse and I was a manager and I'm a mental health nurse, but I never went to school for business. I never went to school to learn all the values. So those are things are self-taught and learned by
Hmm.
mentors and different things. So the balance is very critical, and having boundaries in business, having those boundaries. I've learned from the personal life into professional life to
Hmm.
create business hours for myself, right? It's an everyday, it's still an everyday struggle, but
Definitely.
we work through it. So those are the main things.
What motivated you to create Legacy Writers Vault?
Ooh, I love it. It's so yummy. So what motivated me was being a best-selling author, a best-selling award-winning author times four, and being able to write. Thank you, girl. Yes, being able to write these books and transform lives, and knowing how to do it. It's a skill, right? And learning all the things that I did not have. Again, working backwards, having that framework of working backwards, I was able to put together, create a program, create a community. It started off as a community of book writers to help guide them as their author strategist, to help guide them through writing a book. A lot of people want to write a book. We all have a book in us, right? We all have a book. We all
Yes.
have at least a one book in us, right? But to be able to teach the community to not just write about your story, because nobody cares about your story. Fun fact, they don't. People don't really care about your story. People care about what can you do to help me? What are the tools that you can
Right.
teach me how to do something fast? You can teach me how to make money fast, or teach me how to think fast, or whatever it is. Like, how can you apply that? So what created Legacy Writers Vault was that motivation of teaching people how to write a book, how to generate wealth, how to create legacy, how to make an impact in the world. And that helps the leaders with their business, right? And then also how to publish it. And then we turn into a publishing company, right? So it's just amazing. Again, these are just those things of having the mental clarity and having these skills that and really using your mind to figure out, what am I good at? making impact, right? Making that legacy. And how can I help others? Because it's no fun if you're the only one that's having all the success and no one around you is doing it. So at the Legacy Writers Vault, where we are invested in helping people get their transformation, their legacies out there, so they can also create that generational wealth for their families. And it's been successful thus far.
That's amazing. How does storytelling contribute to leadership development?
Everything. Storytelling that's your brand. Storytelling is your brand. That's what people are going to know you from, from that pain to purpose, right? So that teen mom to, healthcare mogul, teen mom to nurse CEO, right? Who cares about the nurse? Right? Like it was cool, but it's like we like to know where you come from, right? The struggle, because a lot of people are struggling behind the scenes to get to where they need to go, and to know that sometimes we're cut from the same cloth, right? And sometimes we're not. But at the end of the day, we're all human and we all have a story. But everyone are you willing to tell your story? Because our story is not pretty, but your story is what creates and what builds your brand. That's what people are going to remember you from. Maya Angelou, I love Maya Angelou, is one of my favorite quotes. And she says, sometimes, people don't remember your name. They won't remember your name, but they'll remember how you made them feel,
Oh, that's so true. That is so true.
right?
And I
They
think
remember.
that's a lot of like my other job, being a makeup artist. It's not just making people beautiful, it's making them feel good because they're going in front of a camera and oftentimes they're not comfortable and they haven't done it and they need to be feeling confident. And so that is really a gift that you have, that you give people, that you make people feel good. Your energy is just intoxicating. It's so beautiful. How do you maintain authenticity while you're growing your brand?
Being true to myself, being true and being transparent and being authentic, and not caring about who likes me. I don't care about, I used to.
You
Used
like you.
I love me,
But see,
right?
that's the thing. It all
I
starts with
love
that.
me. It starts with yourself, right? It starts with yourself, and then it continues to trickle over. And I love me, and it took a long time to get into that space, right? So that's what radiates when people meet me, the energy, because I have very high energy, and it's real. And a lot of times people are like, oh, no one's that happy all the time. No one's that happy. But it's like, why are you so happy? It's like, well, what is the opposite of happy?
Sad, angry,
Sad,
bitter.
angry,
Yeah, think you
resenting.
know.
Yeah, we all know what the opposite of happiness is. So if you start putting yourself in those positions and you just fall in love with yourself, right? And you give yourself grace, because I have still so many flaws that I'm working on. I'm still every day, I'm like, oh, I got to get my life together. People are like, girl, you got your life together. I'm like, I know, I'm trying to get this life together.
No, because it's like an onion. There's layers. Like, yeah, I've gotten to this layer and now I want to get to another layer. And that's the thing. The second that you feel that you know everything and that you have nothing to learn, you might as well just go die,
That's it.
because there's always something to learn. You can always grow and improve and be a better version of you every day. And that's what's sad when people get to the point where they don't, they think they know everything. That's so sad. What's been the most rewarding moment in your career, do you think?
The most rewarding moment in my career, I would have to say, was I have so many, right? But if I can just think of like the first thing I think was to get my on-site location, to be able to have that Alliance Healthcare School, and
Mm-hmm.
and to be, as an LVN, I'm a licensed vocational nurse, and I'm below the registered nurse, the RN. So a lot of people think as an LVN, or some states are licensed practical nurses, that we can't do what registered nurses do. and I've been showing all my life, to myself and to the world that, baby, it does not matter what status you are. It just matters that determination. So getting my keys and walking into my classroom, into my school, it was a feeling to where it's like, you never feel like you make it, because when you feel like you arrive, then that's when you die.
Mm,
You're dead if
it's
you
true.
arrive, right? So it's a continued marathon. So that was one of the most pivotal highlights in my successful life as a healthcare, to go from the bedside to going into a classroom, into my own school, is just like, wow,
What's
like,
your what's your favorite success story of one of your students that you'd like to share with me?
ooh, yes, I would love to share. Oh my goodness, this goes out to shout out to Corinne. Corinne, I was Corinne's licensed vocational nurse professor at one of the nursing colleges, and every time we would do clinical, she was always like right in the front with me. Like, we were doing wound care, and she was always in the front. She always asked a lot of questions, and then we just kept in contact throughout graduation. So she continued to go back to school. She got her RN, her registered nurse, and she continued on with her studies. And now she is a director for a hospital for a
Oh my,
wound care specialist. And she came to, along with my other nursing students who are doing successful things. Now she is teaching our students at Empower Health Academy. She did a workshop on wound care. And it's just amazing to just see my students, that they're all rock stars. They're all
I
successful.
love this. That is
It's amazing.
so fantastic. That must make you feel so good. I'm
It makes
Christina
me feel.
Flack. We are chatting with Nurse Candy, and we are going to take a commercial break. We are chatting with Nurse Candy. So, what do you do when your day's not flowing?
Oh my goodness. When my day is not flowing, I really just get into myself and really just try to hit that reset button. And what that comes into is grounding myself. I have to
And how
ground
do you do
myself.
that? How do you
So
do that?
I actually I try to start my day into a routine. So I join a 5 a.m. club. I get up at 5 o'clock. Before I get up out of bed, I don't check my Instagram. I don't check emails. I open up my Bible app. I look at the Bible scripture for the day, and then I say my prayers and give that dedication to me and to God, and to see what He wants me to do. That's where I'm led through. That's what it keeps me going throughout the day
Hmm.
when it gets hard. So when I'm not doing well, I'm not having a good day, I try to look at, the better side of everything. And I know that sounds very positive, like, oh, that's just so positive. But again, what is the
It's a
opposite
habit.
of
It's a
positive?
habit. Right. Negative.
It's habits. It's negative. It's habits. So healthy habits is something
Hmm.
that I
And
have learned.
consistency.
Consistency. And I have
Sounds like
been
you're very consistent with your good habits. Do you
I'm very
exercise and
consistent.
work and eat a special diet?
I do. So exercising is a big part. And, like this last few weeks, I've been kind of like I have not the holiday time, but it's like in my head, I'm like, I need to get back into the gym. I need to get back into because that's what the discipline, it keeps me structured. If you are working out and you're consistent, if you miss 3 days at the gym, you fell off the wagon. You have to be consistent. So going to the gym, working out, meal prepping. I'm going to start back meal prepping because, again, you see, I say I'm going to start back. It doesn't matter how this is a marathon. Like, it's not like, oh, I
That's
have it.
right.
It's like you have to continue. You have to continue to do it. So working out, eating healthy, and also, to be in full transparency, it's been 11 months of no wine, no champagne. 11 months.
And how has that changed your life?
Tremendously.
How
all my
so?
success has happened all my success has happened publishing company, on-site location, starting a YouTube channel, all of those different
And that's
things
in
have
11
started
months.
in the last
And that is
11
that is remarkable that in less than a year that you've had all this great change just because of removing alcohol from your
yes.
life. Wow. Was it a problem or just
So it wasn't really, sometimes it's not a problem until it becomes a problem,
Hmm.
you know, and generational things. Speaking of generational things, it runs in my family. So, coping wise, it's always just been our norm. It was never like a big thing, so
Hmm.
it's just generational, and just, that's just how it is. We Every time we get together, we all have our drinks, we're celebrating, we have fun, and it's fine, and it's fine until it's not. But when I went through those dark times in my life, when I went through the divorce, the D's, the divorce, the deaths, and all those different things, my hangovers became 3 days.
Mm.
So if you're not coping right, and you're using things as a way to cope, if you're not having good habits, then that's when it could be a destruction, and that's when your mind can be cloudy, and that's when it's like, okay, something has to give, because in order for God to take us to the next level, these levels, these tiers, baby, where he's taking me, I can't go with a 3-day hangover.
No. And
It
now that
just
you
can't come.
see, but you know what? Now that you see all the good and all these extraordinary things that you've done because of that, it makes you go, okay, well, it's certainly not bringing anything to the table or to the party to make my life better. So now you're like, why would I go back to that? Because you have too much. I can't even imagine all these amazing things that you're gonna do. Where's your happy place?
Oh, my happy place is with God. That's my happy place. That's him and I, we rock. Because when I was by myself and when I felt alone, he always had his arms around me. He always loved me unconditionally, and he always knew that I was destined. He created me. He's the creator. I tried to do it without him. I tried to do it like, try to do it without him, try to do it on my own. And I realized that I can't. I can't do this by myself. I need him to guide me. I need the protection of where I'm going. So my sweet place is with him, as I learn him more, as I'm with him more, and I'm on my path, to just being guidance is just with him every step of the way. That we rock. We rocking and rolling. So that's my sweet spot.
Oh my God, I love that. What would you share with people, like a teen mom, like about dreaming big? Like, what advice would you give when someone, gets into that position and they think their life is over? What can you tell them? How do you tell them that it's so not?
Listen, I if you are stacked with the odds against you, and you have unforeseen circumstances coming your way, as being a teen mom, no matter what people say, your life is not over. Your life is just starting. So you're going to be have you're it's going to be hard for you, but don't give up. Keep going. Don't give up. Now it's just that you're not going to have a life to live for you. Now you have a life of purpose. You have someone else that's depending on you, and someone else that needs you. So I did it, and it's so, like, cliche. I did it. You can do it too. But it wasn't hard. So get put on your big girl panties and get to work.
That's right.
Like, get to work, because anything is possible, but you have to first know that you can do it. Remember, if you can think it, you can achieve it, then you'll be able to receive it. So just don't ever give up. Don't ever stop going. Don't ever stop believing in yourself.
What new goals have you set for yourself in 2025?
To be intentional, to not have distractions. Every day I'm fighting distractions. Every day your old life is going to try to pull at you, because that's how we're built, right? So I have to stay focused on where I'm supposed to go, and be willing to sacrifice, because in order to go where you need to go, you have to have sacrifices in life. You have to be willing to give up something, and by me giving up, my good time of what I learned how to have healthy habits and better habits, and learn how to use your time wisely. So I've learned to just stay focused. That's the number one, and have intentions, and don't allow people to have access to you, because you're that valuable. Your value is very important, and don't allow people to just be able to just have access, and just mishandle you any way that they want to. Have those boundaries.
Is there anything else that you'd like to share with us today that I missed?
I just want to just say, I really hope my story inspired and not only just inspired you, but gives you that takeaway to really see the shortcomings in my life, right? To be here today is really it's a very humbling experience for me, to be able to give back to what I didn't have. So I just hope that you take a piece away and not just take something away, but become an executor. Apply those things. If you don't believe in yourself, get into those rooms where people who do believe in you. Like when I met you, Christina, it was like love at first sight. It was my photo shoot,
Totally.
a big photo shoot, and you really made me feel very comfortable. You just floored me with just you. We laughed, we showed pictures of our family. It was just we just connected, and you give people that experience when you're with them, and that's something that inspires me. So within that, I hope to inspire others. So get around people who believe in you, who mention your name in rooms when you're not even there. Find you a tribe that can push you and cheerlead you, and if you don't have that, keep striving. Keep striving, because
It's
you'll
true.
find it.
And sometimes it's so funny. We always think, oh, well, our family's only our blood relatives. And you and I just are like, no, that is my sister, and just
That is
watch
my
out,
sister.
because yeah, like I will do anything for her. She'll do anything for me. And, just watch her soar, because I am. And I'm like, go girl. I'm trying to keep up with you soaring through the sky. I'm so proud of all your
Thank
accomplishments.
you. Thank
Thank
you.
you for
Thank you
being
so
on my show today. I just am in awe of you, and I'm inspired by you, and you make me be a better version of me every day. So thank you for that. I love you. And I'm Christina Flack, and I'm too busy. Thank you, Avery. Thank you, Maya. Thank you, my engineers. I'm so blessed and grateful. Love you, girl.
Love you too.
This has been I'm Too Busy with host Christina Flack. Tune in each week as Christina approaches the concept of success holistically, recognizing that achievement is not solely measured by financial triumphs, but also by maintaining a healthy work-life balance and focusing on self-care. Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern on the Bold Brave TV network, powered by B2 Studios.